It was just an ordinary evening in the billionaire's mansion until he walked into the nursery and saw something he never expected. There, on the cold floor, was the family's trusted black maid, lying down with the baby in her arms. The sight stopped him in his tracks. Why was she sleeping on the floor when there were comfortable beds and cozy cribs all around? What was going on behind the walls of his luxurious home that he didn't know about? The maid had always been quiet and respectful, someone who seemed to do her job without drawing attention. But now, seeing her like this, something didn't feel right. Was it a sign of something deeper? Was she protecting the baby from some unseen danger? Or was there a hidden story behind her sacrifice? The billionaire's mind raced with questions, and the atmosphere in the mansion suddenly changed. As he stood there, torn between anger, concern, and confusion, he realized this moment could change everything about his family, his trust, and the people he thought he knew. The night was far from over, and what happened next would shock him in ways he never imagined. Stay with us to find out what unfolded after that surprising discovery, and how this unexpected moment turned into a life-changing experience for everyone involved. The billionaire took a slow breath, trying to steady his racing thoughts. The maid, named Amina, had been with the family for years. She was more than just an employee. She was someone who had cared for the children like her own, but no one had ever seen her this vulnerable before. Why now? What had changed? In the days leading up to that evening, things in the mansion had felt different. The baby, usually calm and cheerful, had been restless and crying more than usual. Amina had been quieter than normal, often looking tired but refusing to complain. The other staff noticed it too, but no one dared to ask. The billionaire himself had been busy with work, unaware of the tension slowly building in his home. Now, standing in the nursery, he couldn't shake the feeling that something important was being kept from him. Was Amina protecting the baby from something dangerous? Or was she trying to send a message without words? The thought of his child sleeping on the floor with a maid instead of a crib sparked a mix of worry and confusion. As he glanced around the room, he saw subtle signs: soft blankets arranged carefully on the floor, a small toy placed just out of reach. It all suggested that this wasn't a careless act. There was meaning behind it, something the billionaire needed to understand. But what it was remained a mystery. The questions piled up, and the answers seemed just out of reach. What would he discover if he looked deeper? The billionaire couldn't shake the uneasy feeling as he walked away from the nursery. Questions kept swirling in his mind, but no clear answers emerged. Amina's decision to sleep on the floor with the baby wasn't just about exhaustion. It felt like a quiet protest or a shield against something invisible. Was the baby really safe? And if not, why hadn't anyone spoken up sooner? Meanwhile, Amina's world was much more complicated than it seemed. Behind her calm and gentle demeanor, she carried worries no one else knew. There were whispers among the staff, rumors of tension between some household members, unspoken fears about the baby's health, and a strict set of rules that made her feel trapped. She'd kept her silence, choosing to focus only on the child's well-being, but something was pushing her to act differently now. At the same time, the billionaire's wife had noticed the changes too. She had been busy with her own projects, but the growing distance between her and Amina didn't go unnoticed. Was jealousy or misunderstanding part of the reason for the silence? Or was there something more serious brewing beneath the surface? The relationships inside the mansion were tangled, with loyalty and suspicion pulling in opposite directions. The tension was rising, but no one knew how close they were to a breaking point. Every glance, every whispered conversation held hidden meaning. The billionaire was left wondering, who could he trust, and what sacrifices were being made in the name of love and protection? The answers seemed to lie just beyond reach, and the real story was only beginning to unfold. Days passed, and the atmosphere in the mansion grew heavier with each passing hour. The billionaire found himself watching Amina more closely, noticing the small details he had missed before, the way her eyes flickered with worry when the baby cried, the way she hesitated whenever someone entered the nursery. It was clear she was holding something inside, a secret weighing her down. Yet, whenever he tried to ask, she would only offer a quiet smile and a gentle shake of her head. Meanwhile, tensions between the household members simmered beneath polite smiles. The billionaire's wife seemed distant, her own fears hidden behind a carefully controlled exterior. Rumors whispered through the staff quarters: concerns about the baby's health, suspicions about Amina's unusual behavior, and questions about what the billionaire really knew. No one dared speak openly, but the unease was impossible to ignore. One night, the billionaire stayed up late, his mind racing. He thought back to the night he found Amina sleeping on the floor, cradling the baby. That image haunted him. What if she was protecting the child from something he hadn't seen? Or what if she was trying to protect herself from an invisible threat? The possibilities twisted in his mind, each more unsettling than the last. He prepared to confront the truth. A sudden noise from the nursery jolted him upright. The baby's cry was urgent, filled with a fear he hadn't heard before. Heart pounding, the billionaire rushed toward the door, ready to uncover whatever secret had been kept from him for so long. The moment of reckoning was close, and nothing would be the same after what came next. As the billionaire hurried into the nursery, his heart pounding with fear and urgency, he found Amina standing by the window, her face pale and eyes wide with alarm. The baby was safe in her arms, but something else caught his attention, a small envelope clutched tightly in her other hand. "What's this?" he asked, voice barely steady. Amina hesitated, then slowly handed over the envelope. Inside were photographs and notes, images of strangers lurking near the mansion, messages hinting at threats no one had spoken about. It was a side of the story no one expected. Suddenly, the billionaire realized the danger wasn't just about exhaustion or simple neglect. Someone was watching them, and the baby might be the target. Just as he absorbed this shocking revelation, his phone buzzed with an urgent message from an unknown number. "Stop asking questions, or you'll regret it." The tension skyrocketed. The luxurious mansion, once a symbol of safety and power, now felt like a cage shadowed by unseen threats. The relationships inside were strained to breaking, trust was fragile, and danger was closer than anyone dared admit. With his family's safety hanging in the balance, the billionaire faced a choice: dig deeper into the mystery surrounding Amina and the baby, or protect them from forces he barely understood. The stakes had never been higher, and every decision could change their lives forever. What would he do next? The answer remained unclear, leaving everyone on edge as the story moved toward its most intense moment yet. The billionaire's mind raced as he pieced together the clues Amina had revealed. The strangers lurking outside were part of a dangerous plan targeting his family, and Amina had been silently protecting the baby all along. Her sleeping on the floor wasn't an act of exhaustion, it was a shield, a way to stay close and ready to act at any moment. The weight of her sacrifice hit him hard, and guilt mixed with gratitude filled his chest. Without hesitation, he called security and shared everything in his findings, the threatening message, and the hidden dangers. The mansion went into lockdown, guards patrolling every corner. Yet even with precautions, the threat felt too close. The billionaire realized the enemy wasn't just outside. Someone inside the household had been feeding information to those strangers. The shocking truth came when the billionaire confronted his wife. Tearfully, she confessed she had been pressured by someone from their past to betray them. The family's safety had been compromised from within, and trust shattered like glass. But Amina stood firm, offering loyalty and protection when it mattered. Most. As the tension peaked, the billionaire made a bold decision. He would protect his family not just with wealth and security but with honesty and unity. The baby's safety was no longer just Amina's burden, it was theirs altogether. But just as the crisis seemed to settle, a final twist hit. The threatening messages continued, now from an unexpected source, someone closer than anyone had imagined, waiting patiently for the next move. The story wasn't over yet. In the days that followed, the billionaire took steps to rebuild the trust that had been broken. He sat down with his wife, and together they faced the challenges head-on, understanding that their family's safety depended not just on money or security, but on openness and forgiveness. Amina's loyalty became a bridge, bringing the household closer, and the baby, once caught in the middle of unseen threats, was now surrounded by love and protection. The mysterious messages stopped after the family's united front and careful vigilance. The insider who had betrayed them was quietly confronted and removed, ensuring the mansion was once again a safe haven. The billionaire realized that sometimes, the greatest strength comes from those who quietly stand by your side, like Amina, whose simple act of sleeping on the floor revealed a powerful story of dedication and coup.